It's August 24th. Is today the day? All right, I tuned in last night, okay? And you guys know I never do dates, but the anticipation, the pressure, the excitement over this day, I had to tune in. I'm going to tell you what I saw, but first I'm going to remind you what Spirit has said repeatedly about this man and his role. But first of all, remember, I don't do dates. I'm not a dates person. Never. I have been confused for people who do dates. It ain't me. Never. Do I want it to be today? Hell yes, I want it to be today. But I don't have that kind of power, because here's the thing. So here's what Spirit has shown me already about this man, about his role. Whether we like it or not, he is purposeful. And, hear me out, he is necessary. I do not mean that he's a good dude. I do not mean we should let him continually run amok. No. But what I mean is, his role is to be contrast. His role is to be a mirror. His role is to force us to see all of the shadows, individually and collectively. And in that way, because of this man being this gasoline-powered wrecking ball just mowing down the people, because of this, we are now awakening. We are now coming together. We are uniting against a common enemy. This role is purposeful. We as humans, we have been so divided for centuries, especially here in America, especially because of the psychological warfare that we have been put under by other countries and by our very own leaders, propagandized to the nth degree, us versus them. What humanity is going through right now, it's an ascension process. It's human evolution. That is both physical, so a reality, as well as our spiritual evolution, the expansion of consciousness. And we are at the point where we are breaking down all the barriers that kept us separate. Because part of ascension, of evolving to the new earth, to the fifth dimension, is we need to evolve out of the need for contrast and duality. And he is that symbol of the contrast, of the duality. He is a representation of all of the old systems, all of the old control ways of being. We need our Stay Puft Marshmallow Man to show us all of it so that we can dismantle it, both in the systems, in the ways as they exist out there, and within our minds, our own mindsets, the systems that we have internalized and taken on, whether consciously or unconsciously, as our belief systems. Now, as a psychic medium, as a channeler, as a healer, and as someone who has been tracking his every freaking move since November, I've been shown a lot about his purpose and about how long it's going to take, how much longer we need him. One thing that I was shown, and I believe this was in my June psychic preview event, my What's Coming Next for June, I was shown that he's been trying to die for a while now. Yeah, his soul has been vacating the body, trying to vacate the body, which you often see in dementia patients. As a psychic medium, I can talk to the spirits of dementia patients as though they are no longer living, because that is how disconnected from the body they become. They're already transitioning to move on. He's been trying to leave many times for many months. However, what Spirit has said is that his role is not done yet. And I am so sorry to tell you, but he will be here for as long as his role is necessary. Because what we also saw late May and early June, the mystics of the world, especially witch talk, psychic talk here on TikTok, we were feeling an imminent departure in June. We were feeling it. Our guides were telling us, we were seeing it. But then something major happened. Number one, Elon went on a Twitter feud, and suddenly the excitement rallied around the implosion and the disillusion of these people. And then we had the No King's Day, and we saw the unity, and we saw people coming together, and we saw people realizing how powerful we are when we unite together. And all of these things pushed perhaps the biggest awakener of all, the resurgence, the demand of the Epstein files. And that has been the biggest awakener of people in his cult, of the Red Hats, of Republicans, out of all of this. This is what I mean by necessary. The role of awakener is messy and necessary. And that is why asking for a date or a time is kind of useless, because it's not about a date on a calendar. It's when enough energy has accrued, when the purpose has been fulfilled, enough have awakened, enough have joined forward in the opposition to be rid of him. But it's not just about him personally, it's about all of the systems that he represents. So when people have their awakenings around things like, I have to speak carefully, the supremacy that is white, around patriarchy, around these financial systems, dependence on capitalism, as long as people are still internally attached to the systems that he is a representation of, that will still fuel the system. We're still keeping it alive and well. People need to have more awakenings, more coming out of, less reliance on, more desire for something else. And yes, more desire for justice. We cannot simply lift our hands and say, leave it up to God, karma will get him. No. It is our energy that creates justice. And if we are too passive, or even worse than being passive, if we are too defeated, that allows that role to continue, because part of our awakening is coming into our power. We, the people. Now, there's another factor to this as well, and that is he and his people, those energies, those systems, they are fighting to stay alive. Yeah. And that's why they're doing all the crazy bullshit, both physically, what they're doing with the National Guard, what they're doing with everything else. They're fighting to stay alive, and they're fighting to keep their boot on the necks of the people. So as long as people continue to cower in fear, then it's working. And they're harnessing your fear as energy to manifest for these systems. So not only do we have to wake up and be willing to push back, but we have to graduate out of our fear. We can no longer fear them. We have to stand strong in our unity, in our ability as the people fighting together, and our ability as divine creators to push our energy into, we're ready for the new and we will accept nothing less. So yeah, everyone freaking out about, but Vance is worse. Oh, yeah, you're fueling that machine. Knock it off. He's not worse. So this is why I don't get dates. I never get dates. I don't know when things are going to happen, because energies are always fluctuating. We will feel big pushes for something, and then there will be an ebb in that energy. This is how it is. All right, so having said that, I don't think he's long for this world, period. We've already seen all of this, the awakening, the unity, the pushing back. We've already seen it. So I don't expect he's going to make it through the rest of this year, not even by a long shot. And if the medical professionals of TikTok, of social media, are to be believed, he's got weeks, only months if he's lucky. We've already been awakening. We've already been shifting the energies. That's why he's dwindling. That's why he is fading before our very eyes. And that is why he's concerned for his mortality, concerned for the everlasting soul, and if he's going to get into heaven or not. His days are numbered. So this brings me to what I saw when I tuned in last night. I was asking very specifically, what about August 24th? Is today the day? What's going to happen? And unfortunately, I wasn't shown that. But what I mean, one way or the other, I wasn't shown. Could it have happened already? Yep. I don't know. But what I was shown was more representative of his state of health. And I was seeing him literally wandering the halls of the White House in a daze. Yeah. And it was almost like, like in The Sims or something, some NPC aimlessly bumping into walls. Like the engine's running, but nobody's home. And then I saw his staffers coming to him, just like someone in a memory care ward, gently taking him and directing him away. This way, Mr. President, this way. They know how sick he is. They know how swiftly he is deteriorating, and they are rapidly and in a frenzy putting up all kinds of smoke and mirrors to deflect from this. They are trying to buy time, because when he goes, everything else implodes and their asses are toast. So no, I don't know when, but I'm telling y'all, any day now. He's fading rapidly. He's deteriorating before our eyes, and we are waking up. His purpose, his mission, it's working. We're waking up, we're fighting back, we're uniting together. So as long as we keep going, we're going to get there. Hang tight.